All right, this is state convention, and if you're not one this year, you might want to pay attention maybe 2 years from now, and you will. The state convention, June 11th to 12th at the Dallas Convention Center. Temporary committee will begin meeting on Tuesday. The rules and platform will. Credentials, I believe, is going to be meeting on Thursdays. It's scheduled right now. Wear comfortable clothes, comfortable shoes, and there'll be plenty of vendors to buy good stuff from and so forth. Okay, temporary committees. By the way, these members are appointed by the SREC. The SREC is the State Republican Executive Committee. This is a body of people, one man, one woman from each one of the 31 state senate districts, plus the chairman and vice chairman of the party. And they basically transact the business of the party between conventions. But it's the convention caucuses that will elect them to the position, and which is later ratified by the convention itself. Rules. They consider the supplemental rules for the convention, as well as the RPT rules, Republican Party of Texas rules, permanent rules. Supplemental rules only exist for the duration of the convention itself. And after they're null and void. The Temporary Rules Committee will first consider supplemental rules. They will then forward the supplemental rules on to the SREC. The SREC will meet on Thursday and will adopt the supplemental rules for the convention. Supplemental rules will be what you're going to do, the order of business in each one of your caucuses, and how much time each speaker is going to have to address the candidates who speak in favor of the state chair, vice chair, how much time they have, and so forth. The RPT rules, these are the permanent rules. They go through there and look at rules and see if there's any changes that they want to make in those. Your platform, and by the way, the temporary committees here, like I said, the supplemental rules will go to the SREC. That's kind of the exception. Otherwise, the temporary committees report to the permanent committee. I'll get to the permanent committee in a minute. Temporary platform committee basically will break up into subgroups. One will deal with family and social issues. Another may deal with national security. Another will deal with your economic issues. If you wish to impact the state platform, they will begin consideration on Tuesday. You as a delegate have a right to come before the body and testify before it. You can see what the platform is now. You can bring up some changes, perhaps bring up some language that hasn't been covered yet. Then once the platform committee subgroups get finished, they'll come back together as one big committee, adopt their report. Their report will go to the permanent platform committee. Credentials Committee primarily has two items of business. One is to handle any delegate disputes, delegate credentials problems. Maybe someone challenges a given delegate's credentials because that person was an officer of the convention. They believe that they intentionally violated the rules of the Republican Party of Texas. If you do that, you're subject to having your credentials pulled, and you will not be a delegate at the convention if you're found guilty of it. Basically, your trial is held before the Credentials Committee. They will in turn report to the full convention. The full convention has the final say. The other main element of the business that they deal with are administrative problems. They're the ones that will run the registration desk. When you get there, you sign in, show your ID, you get your credentials. That's part of the Credentials Committee. They take care of administrative errors. Assume you were elected delegate, but unfortunately the paperwork transmitted to the state showed that you were an alternate. You go to get your delegate badge. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not a delegate, you're an alternate. No, I was elected delegate. No, you're an alternate. Well, how do you resolve this? You go to the Credentials Committee, the convention chairman has to go there. Very embarrassing. He has to say, I'm sorry, the person was duly elected a delegate. We submitted a stated error. The person is a delegate, and they'll correct the issue, and the person will be issued a delegate badge. Please note that Credentials Committee did not make that person a delegate. They only recognize what actually transpired back at the prior convention. That person was elected an alternate at the prior convention, that person's an alternate. If they were elected a delegate, the person's a delegate. The Credentials Committee cannot change that. And I said, like I said, those members are appointed by the SREC. One man and one woman represent each one of the 31 congressional districts. They appoint each one of the members to the temporary committees. And the SREC itself will meet on Thursday. They're going to approve the temporary role, excluding challenges, approve the temporary supplementals, rules, and approve the temporary convention agenda. So these meetings are open. If you're there, you're certainly welcome to attend. Okay, the first day of the convention, Friday, you have the first general session, about noon to 1 o'clock. Usually what happens is you'll have basically a bunch of speeches is what it boils down to that first day. These are your, well, it could be the governor, it could be senators. It depends upon how their schedule falls. Then after that, you'll adjourn to your SD caucus. You will caucus or meet by senatorial district. We met at Senatorial District 4 of Harris County when we had our convention. At state, you're going to meet with the entire SD4 of Texas, which extends into Montgomery County and all the way over into Beaumont. So we'll have our Harris County people there, but we're going to have a whole bunch more. And that, you'll meet, you'll caucus there, you'll elect your permanent chairman. There's a temporary chairman that's appointed by the state chairman. One of the first orders of business is to be elected permanent chairman. Almost always it's the temporary chairman. Usually nobody else wants the job. Glad you got somebody who's willing to do it. All right, then you will elect your permanent members of the committee. This is where the permanent committee is formed. You as a body will elect those members. Usually, 95% of the time, the temporary person is going to be elected to the permanent committee. And if you've got wind of something, something didn't go right on one of the committees, there's a lot of talk, well then you may look at replacing person X. In fact, I've had the 1990, I ended up replacing a person on the Rules Committee, not because it was me, any one of a number of people could have done it. It was the original temporary person was not at all doing what that particular SD convention wanted done. She went off on her little thing. And so it was an overwhelming vote, but the bottom line was she didn't represent the people, the grassroots. They made a change. This is where you can make a change if you don't like the person that's doing the job. 95% of the time, it's a good person they picked to begin with, and you'll usually be